weekend. Happy weekend. Uh, Let me be the first to wish you happy Juneteenth. How about that? That one sort of came out of nowhere. Today's 13 minutes is going to be about, I wrote it down. Uh, Dag nabbit. Oh, okay, there's the title. Give or take, losing things and finding things. Letting go, the letting goes and the embracings of. All right, so let's give this 13 minutes and let's see what I can got. What I can got. What I got. There was supposed to be a show Monday, but there was an incident, family related one. Stab it. Actually, two of them. But we had a Zoom family meeting, and we prayed about it. And literally, in like a day and a half, everything got incredibly better. It was pretty impressive. So I missed Monday and I missed Wednesday, and I began to think about my spiritual life and where I got. I used to be very religious and in nature. Where I got off of it, I think I was about 16 or 17. I mean, actually, I think it was later. I think it was like 19 or 20. So yeah, a good prayer with the family in a pandemic, right? Got everybody on a call. I was happy to hear, and everybody, even though the occasion was not awesome, but like I said, it all worked out. So that is my excuse for no Monday and no Wednesday show. Today's podcast is not going to happen either. So we're just going to give a loose 13 minutes talk about letting go of stuff. I used to be a peacenik. Yeah, I used to be a peacenik. Not so much anymore. I don't understand why people are still marching. So the news this week in the letting go of things stuff. The news this week is Joe Biden ran a weird play that I've never seen in politics before. Oh my goodness gracious, let me take my socks off. He got Juneteenth to be a national holiday in like 4 days. I don't know where this came from. I follow this stuff. I mean, is this too loud? I follow this stuff regularly, right? I mean, I've never seen anybody have a bill passed in like 4 days, and then, and not just that. The old, excuse me, the old days would have had civil rights leaders there, and they all look like Democratic functionaries. I didn't recognize any of them. I also, like I said, I have always been invested in what we folks call the movement. And this just seemed like something that the Democratic Party came up with, knew they could run through. First of all, no one in the Black community is asking for a Juneteenth holiday. No one is. So what is the point of this? I think the point is for points, quite frankly, because what people in the community want is the banks to be fair and the police to be held accountable. This doesn't do any of that. This is more window dressing. Enjoy it or not, but you know what? On Juneteenth tomorrow, the cops are going to kill some Black guy, and Joe Biden will tell you how the country's not racist, and they will deny justice all over again. If it's the kind of shooting that I am thinking of, and I think you all know the kind of shootings that I'm thinking of. No one's complaining about righteous shooting, so let's not be ridiculous. I know that there are goofy people out there who will tell you only thing anybody wants is to be able to run around and commit crime because they're Black folk or whatever. Ridiculous. Oh, sweet Jesus, let me tell you, it is hot up here. With my phone? What's the temperature outside? Nah. What's the temperature outside?
It's about 84 degrees outside.
All right, 84 is not bad, but man, I'm glad these windows are open. All right, so like I said, nobody wanted a Juneteenth holiday, and I celebrated it. I've been celebrating Juneteenth easily since I've lived on my own every year. And like I said in 2 other podcasts about Juneteenth, you're supposed to celebrate it from the 13th, the first teenth, to the 19th, the last teenth. It's 7 days, right? So you always get a weekend, you always blow it out, but this one day BS crap in the middle of no. I'm so completely over these useless endeavors, right? Again, I don't need to be a national holiday. Just like I didn't need Dr. King's birthday to be. I'd celebrate Dr. King's birthday, and I never work on my own birthday. That was just a thing that I did personally, and I would recommend you too. Yeah, plan your like vacation around, whatever trip or whenever you want to go, but always take your birthday off. If it's a random Tuesday, take that shit off. Nobody's saying get drunk, go shopping, have a party. Nobody's saying any of that. It's sort of a way, at least I think, it's sort of a way to honor you, your mom, and your dad in a moment of time when, quite frankly, you all connected. And that's a very loose way of saying, like, you became a family, right? The 3 of you became bound forever. So I know, like, in this land, nobody likes marriage and no one likes kids. And I'm the only one out here, still liking kids and pets and dogs, and remember what Juneteenth was all about in the first place. So I know you're going to see a lot of stuff and hear all this stuff on all these other podcasts. You should know who's talking to you and what their history is. Because again, with this Juneteenth signing, they were all elected officials or Democratic functionaries. No, I didn't see any, like Dr. King, when they signed the not the 13th Amendment, that was signed in 1865, right? What did they sign in the I forgot what it was. Anyway, but there was Dr. King there was Reverend Abernathy, there was, Jesse Jackson, but there was a lot of these people who all come together from different parts of the country who threw all in to do this march and to say, hey, you're treating us unfairly. And then with the representatives of the American government, the president, the elected officials in Congress and the Senate came forward. They were there because they were elected officials of the day, as well as the American citizens who pushed it, who were not elected officials, who were ministers and union workers and all this, right? That's absent of this. It's absolutely absent. It's just a democratic kind of show. And I'm instantly sort of not trusting of it. How's that? That's Juneteenth. You may get 2 of these. That's the give or take on Juneteenth. And mind you, Juneteenth is one of the oldest. I'm gonna call it a holiday. It's always been a holiday for me and my community, for me and my people. And it also bleeds into what I think the last pod I went off about all these people coming here who are Black, who are just going, hey, I'm Black like everybody else. Give me these grants and stuff. And, they have no, what I would say, skin in the game, right? They have no missing relatives who blinked out of existence in the South by unknown, racist BS. They have no disrespected women. They don't, so I'm just, this is one of the days that ties the struggle. It's not African American Day, which just would have pissed me off if they, So it's just simply Juneteenth. It's Jubilee Day. It's Freedom Day. It goes back, just like Veterans Day, Memorial Day, rather. Wait, no, Veterans. Oh man, Sean, you got to get your Black history straight. Veterans Day, when the Black slaves gathered up all the Civil War dead and gave them a funeral and honored their sacrifice, and then the nation said, "Hey, that's not a bad idea. We should do that." That is, by the way, that's not the first time Black people did something that the government adopted and then gave Black people no credit for. One of which is the lottery, just so you know, right? And this idea that if you give me your credit card and I charge you $100, right? But then I give you a refund on it, the $100 in cash. That was, the bankers didn't like that, but now you can do that. You can go to Walmart and go, "Would you like a cash back on your credit card?" Right? But you did it 25 years ago. We used to do it when I was a kid. My first job at a gas station, it was a thing people would ask me to do, and I was like, and they would give me a $20 tip for doing it. Way back when I was a little dude, I remember the numbers runners in Brooklyn, right? So that was essentially the lottery. Now the lottery is perfectly fine. and all those people who they grabbed for it are, still felons, and it's the whole system doesn't work for everybody. It only works for a handful of people. And this Juneteenth thing strikes me as not so much a get for Black people, but here's a fucking bone, shut up and take it. But we're sitting here going, it's not even a bone we wanted. Nobody asked for this. No one asked for this, right? What people are asking for is you seriously take a look at the criminal justice system, the courts, the for-profit prisons, the mental health people, apparatus when you need a mental health respondent who should go with the cops. Because don't get me wrong, you may have to slow somebody down. So all these things that should be addressed, that they're just not. And when it happens, they all sort of get together in these powwow sessions and come up with a bullshit plan of attack for why something can't be done, right? So now look at Joe Manchin. He doesn't want you to have this the voting two things: the voting rights he doesn't want to sign, and he also doesn't want to sign this police bill. It's just grandstanding, right? It's sort of like, oh, we got everybody where we need, and one guy goes, I'm going to be a star. I'm going to be, a dilettante, and that's what he's doing now. But while he's doing this, all these people are dying, and I say all these people because it's not like the cops are out of pocket once every 6 months. They're freaking out of pocket daily and hourly all over the place. So it is what it is. Like, you expect people to believe it to be some, what's the word I'm looking for? Some impossible problem to solve, when it isn't impossible to solve. Everybody knows full well what's going on here. It's the lack of will to do it. And these people will show up, like I said, after the next murder, and show up in your church and tell you how we're all Americans. We're all going to get there one day, but for right now, y'all hold your powder and do some more marching. And we're going to go off to our fourth or fifth giant house with these, first generation Russians and Chinese that you fought a war with the last session, while you are glued to the basement. Yeah, no, I think I think the people who expect you to buy that are ridiculous. I've raged about the people who claim to be allies for a very long time now. Now I'm taking no prisoners and you can go kick rocks. Who don't see the dead people. And if you don't, then why are you having this conversation with me? So yeah, some things you have to let go of. I've let go of my kindness on this issue. And like years ago, I let go of having these conversations with white liberals on Facebook. It was one of the reasons why I left Facebook, right? Because I like you, but seriously, you're ridiculous with what you're saying. And then it comes down to, you're saying it for, sweet Jesus, you're saying it for reasons that, dagnabbit, reasons that cannot, there you go, cannot be real. And you're supposed to be a college educated person. So, I mean, your logic train is not reaching the station on this thing. And I'm wondering why. Is it this idea that you're just right and no one else is right? I mean, I'm sitting here telling you personal experiences, and I have family members who've been unfairly treated, and you're sitting here going, yeah, well, that may be true. What's up, Eric? But the way I feel about it is more important, because I feel a way about it. I'm tired of humoring that. I'm not even humoring that anymore. And I'm one, like, I will curse a woman out. I am one who's from a big family of people. And like I said, for every boy born, there's like 3 girls. So I don't give women any short shrift, because I'm perpetually surrounded by women telling me their full opinion at all stages of womendom, right? Whether they just learned to crawl and they don't want to eat their peas, or, they're 85 and they're telling me I need to get my act together. Fine. But I mean, in my culture, we don't put women on a pedestal. We just don't. And they say what they say, and then you listen to it, and then you say what you say, and you keep it moving. But I've dated women outside of my culture who I had to learn how to have a conversation with them, because being passionate always, my voice raises, and they will always call that yelling. And I'm like, this is not yelling. You have not heard me yell. But when I'm at the family, everybody's got a high, but no one's yelling, but everybody's talking loudly and over stuff, and you pick up an ear of who said that's important, and you're like, but it goes on, and then it just stops. No one hates each other, and I'm always the one being told to calm down. It's how you have a conversation with a bunch of people and you don't take it personally and you keep it moving. But I think in this era of, oh my God, how dare you challenge me? I just can't believe it. I'm like, all right, I don't know what you want from me, but I'm not just going to humor you because you need to be humored. And that's where I feel like the last time around with Occupy Wall Street began. And now I look around and this whole thing, it's a Me Too movement. It's a believe all women is the same thing where you can't actually have a serious conversation about it because some women, don't get me wrong, I'm talking in generalizations, but someone will bust your ass in a good conversation. I love that. But some people don't know how to conversate, and then they use these tropes and dirty tricks to stay in a conversation and be heard when they really don't have anything to say. They sort of bully you emotionally, and I'm not being bullied emotionally anymore. I used to be polite about it. Now I'm just kind of like, man, that's ridiculous. I mean, I'm not going to disrespect your woman, just like I'm not going to disrespect you. But I'm not going to humor that anymore. I think, like I said, too many people are dying, and it's been humored for too long. Uh, so now you have a holiday, I guess, where who's it for? A lot of people already don't want proper reform. So, I mean, I guess it's a day off for them, but who is this for? Because, mind you, I'm for it, but it's easily thing 40 on my list. Easily. For it to get for it to become Juneteenth in 4 days, just has me thinking there was other stuff that we wanted other than this. And you don't even know whose idea it was, whose major plan it was. It looks like this is one of those nonsense things that they could get through because they had the numbers, and they could make people who are Republican look bad about it for not supporting it. That's fine. I'm for that. Make your political opponents look bad. You should have supported this, just like Arizona's John McCain, the late John McCain, didn't support Martin Luther King's birthday, right? And it sat on him like a stitch. And all the people who agreed with him always had, let's call it, racial issues. All right, let's say that. So yeah, Juneteenth. Uh, Yay, I guess. Yeah, that's it, Juneteenth. Uh, So let's start another one. Let's talk about law. Well, I guess I talked about loss in it, but it's essentially it's about moving on, man. Yeah, so I'm beginning to really rethink about drinking because, like, man, this year has been a year, and I have done a lot of drinking. I mean, I'm round in the middle section, and I've never been this heavy. I don't like it on my frame. I'll tell you something. When I sit down, did it do it? Yeah. When I sit down, my drawers sort of fold over, right? Let's see this. And I'm like, what is this? Right? So this idea that it's folding over is telling me I've got just too much meat right here and it's bothering me. So, I'm that person. I'm like, I don't go all in, but when I see some goofy thing about me, that I'm like, oh, I got to change that. That is a sign down the line because I like to eat. I'm not stupid. That's a sign down the line that I would easily be 400 pounds, and that cannot happen. Um, I believe in the philosophy of being fit to fight. Right. I mean, I want to fight you, but you know, if I do fight you, you're gonna regret it. So fit to fight is that, right? But it is also fit to flight. Don't get me wrong. Like, you know, if you need to get the heck out of there, you got to be fit enough to get the heck out of there. Um, so the things I left behind is likely going to be drinking and smoking. And the things I'm going to pick up and I'm going to do every day, probably on stream, is guitar playing. I'm bad at it. But I figure if I bust my ass an hour in the morning, which I do, and then if I add an hour at night, which, well, it is what it is. Hey, Edward. How you doing, man? Blessings to you too. So if I do like my guitar stuff in the morning and the guitar stuff at night, I figure right around about December-ish, I should be happily a guitar fiddler, not a musician. The whole thing is to become picking up things and letting things go. I've decided to be a blues man, if that makes any sense, right? So I'm going to take this all up and seriously as a hobby, because my whole position is this. Politics is not giving me anything. It's another thing that I'm seriously thinking about stopping me talking about. I can't stop following it. I just have to stop talking about it. But yeah, I'm letting go of politics, letting go of drinking, but not all at once. Have a schedule and a system that I was going to implement tomorrow on Juneteenth. But, you know, I have this thing, if you do everything all at once, quit smoking, quit drinking, it just makes it a little harder. So we'll ease things out, but more likely we'll ease things in first. Also, my diet is fairly decent, but I still need to eat more fruits and veggies. And in my old days, what I used to do is have one of those trays from the supermarket of bananas and carrots and onions and stuff. Not onions, uh, uh, the little tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, and I would have that and like just nibble on that while I play games, because the days before that I'd be nibbling on anything, and I was just I wasn't heavy, but I was, my son was just, I was running back then too. I was just, man, I guess I was young, could eat anything. It's the best day of my life. Thanks for asking. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. What's your plan for this weekend? Uh, my plans for this weekend uh, include a lot of guitar playing and likely back to writing. That's another thing I'm picking up again. I used to write short stories. I actually found an old script and an old graphic novel I wrote, Sand, before I was 18, back when I wanted to have a media company. But, you're 14, you don't know how to have a media company. But in this era, you can, right? Me talking to you is proof that I can have a media company. So, like this weekend, like I said, it's just this pandemic has been. I'm losing a lot of people in this pandemic. Um, so now it's like, all right, what is it? No more tears. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna shed no tears. Uh, I feel like I'm right. I think I've been right all along. I think I've been right forever, and I'm not gonna back off my position because other people think that they're right. So go be right someplace else. It's sad, but it's true. Uh, I need to, and I can do this in 10 years, 2 years rather, get back to my running, maybe do enough 5Ks and 10Ks to get a few trophies, which talent to your accomplishment. So yeah, shooting my mouth off on these platforms and getting nothing done does not help me. But if I do like I said, the guitar stuff and write and read stuff, that helps me. That builds me, helps, So somewhere along the way, even down the line, I'm better for it, right? I'm a guitar player, right? I write songs. I learned to be a musician, right? Versus the same amount of time is going to come, and I will have been doing the same thing, talking about politics. So it's not like I'm going to get a PhD in talking about politics on online, right? And I always wanted, like I said, a media company, so I can do this as a hobby as a media company. But I also wanted to do something for my people, my culture, Dr. King, right? Don't do it for your people. Don't be a racist while you do it, right? I wanted to do something that included everybody, everybody. So how do I do that? Well, we're gonna find out because that's part of this, right? I'm sort of gonna try and get as many people to do something as possible. I just don't want to look. The world is not the club. I don't want to sit in the club and talk about tomorrow. Um, I want to say down the line, oh, we tried and we failed, but we tried. We were a handful of guys trying, and I know that there are guys trying. But I really do think that, and I give the Clintons credit for this, that the Clintons' sinister allyship uh, has sort of undid all the black apparatus, like the NAACP. You can't really deal with anymore, right? I mean, they're they're a they're an arm of like the Democratic Party, and that wouldn't be so bad if they were actually getting stuff done. At least I think they're an arm of the Democratic Party. So I don't know. What are you going to let go, right? What are you going to embrace? I have to embrace. Well, first of all, I'm embracing my anger. I'm absolutely embracing my anger about this thing. I'm tired. It's been 500 years by my count and 300 years by other people's count. So I'm just tired. And if I don't embrace my anger, and anger is a motivator, right? So it's going to get me back to my base bare minimum. And my base bare minimum was one of healthiness and sort of social consciousness. Uh, I read a lot. I had a bunch of plants. I had a dog. I had a woman that I liked that was straight to, hell in a handbasket. I think I was a good fair amount responsible for that because man, this is, your head is all politics and craziness. Uh, I think you begin to, at least I think I began to sort of live in a place that I shouldn't have been living, my headspace. So yeah, that in mind on the, what do they call it? Or I reconnoitered my life over the last 7 years, um, recon the whole thing, and now I just think it is what it is, right? It's time where you go, well, this is good money after bad, so I have to do something else. I used to love gaming. I'm realizing this week I don't like it as much as I used to. Or maybe my new obsession with the guitar has moved it, and that's fine. Maybe I'll return to it, maybe I'll never return to it, right? But now I want something desperately badly, and that is to create something tangible for myself. And that tangibility thing is also um, a mental like whole, right? If I can, like I said, talking about politics for 10 years got me nothing. If I talked and played the guitar for 10 years, I'd be, a guitarist. And that's good. Good, bad, or indifferent. But that's what that is what I should have been doing all along. Because I keep having the same conversations. And I get angry every time I have the same conversation. So, and there's other things that bother me too, coming back to like Christ, like this Christianity, spirituality, or whatever you want to call it. Um, I don't like that people feel cavalier in taking shots at me, but they won't take shots at the Jews and their Jewish faith, or they won't take shots at the Muslim and their Muslim faith, right? But they feel emboldened because here, it's not even, just be respectful of where people are, and that's what you need to be. And I think that I need to be more respectful of where people are. I think I need to be more respectful of the accomplishments I accomplish, right? Have a little respect for that. And then take the next step to take the first step through that door into the next new plane of your existence. Had a childhood friend. I mean, after not only did I have two family emergencies this week, I had a childhood friend who died on Sunday. He was 50, I want to say two. So these things play in your head, right? These are guys that I ran around with, went to like clubs, not clubs, but went to like little house parties back in the day, when you couldn't get into a club, you went to a house party. Uh, we liked rap music together. We ran these streets. We tried to mac these cuties. And now, he's gone. His days on this plane ended Sunday, and it's weird because not weird, but you grow up with him and it kind of it's kind of like a bullet, that just misses you. Not really just misses you, but just it's like you hear it ring out like a crack, and you go, what was that? And it's loud enough and close enough that people go, oh, hey, did you hear that bullet? Yeah, it got so and so, right? You're like, oh wow. And that's it. It's like death is out here sniping us down one by one. You never know. And you always know it's gonna happen, but you're like, man, it's not gonna happen anytime soon, eventually, because I'm 19, I'm 23, I'm 27, I'm 31, I'm 36, I'm 42, I'm 47, I'm 53. Before you know it, you're like, oh wow, I guess 53 is not as young as 27, 37, right? I'm closer to 60 than I am to 40, as I tell people all the time. And that's fine. With age comes wisdom. More wisdom for some people than others, but generally wisdom with age. But yeah, I feel bad for him. I don't feel I'm not fat. I guess I feel bad for me, I guess honestly. The whole idea of it is like what he was but and it's not like I saw him recently. It's just he's one of my peers and that's what it was. He's one of my peers. So that plus my family incidents this week. Uh and other stuff that happened, which was just kind of like, you know what, I'm tired of all of it. I don't want to talk to you about it anymore because you're insincere with your concern, and that's where I'm at. Um, because I'm not going to change my tone. I mean, I'm right. There's a dead body count going on here, and you're wrong about it. But so yeah, I just want to talk to you about it. And when you say goofy stuff, I'm just going to go and grab my guitar and practice these stupid chops for these wrinkly, old, slow ass fingers that hopefully will, you know, kind of get that mojo in like a year and a half or so. So yeah, you give some, you get some. It's a give and take environment. Uh, you lose things, you find things. You lose friends, you find. No, I haven't found any new friends lately. It's hard to make friends as you get older. But you lose some things, you find other things. Find a guitar, right? And you let go of the struggles that you were once part of, the marches and the moments, and you try and sort of let those things go and not have them take too much of you with them because you're emotionally connected to all of this stuff. Uh, so instead of weeping for dead relationships and crying about it, you have to be thankful for what it was, for how long it was. Don't blame them. Don't blame you. Don't say, you know, useless words that just, are invested in emotion. Just kind of go, wow, that's sad, I guess. And then try to embrace the new thing. And, I've already decided to embrace more writing, daily guitar playing, and daily podcasting and see where that gets me over the course of a year. So starting tomorrow, Saturday, which is rare because I don't do Saturdays, stream Saturdays and Sundays, podcast. I'll figure something out. Um, so I'm gonna commit to it. I'm gonna pre-commit to it, and I'm gonna implement it, and I'm gonna knock it out. Uh, this whole all of this swirls around me sort of getting healthy. So I guess I'm gonna feel horrible. It's like I just do 3 a days, right? Not 3 days. 3 miles a day. When I was feeling myself twice a day, but generally 3 miles a day, and uh, I got up to like I used to do 1,000-day devotionals. I call them since I wasn't going to church, and I was still spiritual. I was like, I'm going to run every day since I'm not going to church, and I did it. I did it. The first time I did a full 1,000 days, which was 2 years and 7 months. The second time I got around, I want to say 8 months, 8, 9 months. And then I started to restart it and couldn't get like the chain up again. But I still kept running. Then I just fell to 3 days a week running. Um, had a great dog. Maybe I get another dog. But before I get dogs, they don't absorb your life. They enrich your life. But before I get another dog, I have to build up some of this running energy, some of this guitar playing energy, some of this writing energy. I don't even know how I'm going to write on stream. But I'll figure something out. And I was also thinking about Haps. I'm like, am I going to stay on Haps? Because I can't really game on Haps. But then I was thinking, I'm not really doing a lot of gaming anyway. So, and Haps is for talking to people, just like Twitch is for talking to people. I'm not really doing a lot of talking to people. So I'm going to have to figure this thing out. But yeah, tomorrow, I guess I'll come up with a plan tonight. Here, I'll show you my guitar book that I drew when I did this. I put this little. So my guitar journey, my how to be a bluesman, that's what I'm calling it, journey, essentially started, I'm marking it as the first of this month. Uh, Found some how to study stuff, and that should keep me busy for about 3 months. So yeah, I figure come by and listen to me sound horrible on the guitar, but I would much rather you pulled your guitar out. And mind you, what we're doing here is we're not learning an instrument, we're not learning a guitar. What we're doing is we're learning music, right? So what I understand about it is once you know music, middle C, what the ledgers are, all this stuff, flats, and then you learn the fretboard on your uh, whatever instrument you have. So just doing this in the last month, I know the fretboard. I learned the fretboard. Well, I won't say I learned it. Let's say I'm 2 weeks away from knowing it cold. Um, but after you learn that, like you go, oh well, this is what the equivalent is on the piano. So it's slowly dawning on me that once you know the notes and stuff, which I think is about a 3 month really hard, like you know, you can read this stuff and then you can plot it out at whatever pianos in a bar or strum out. And nobody's saying anybody's going to be buying your album or any of this. I'm just saying music is one of those things that we as human beings all instantly connect to. Why aren't more of us at least familiar with it? So this is what I'd rather waste my time on than losing it over Chuck Schumer and the rest of these people who are going to get paid regardless. I have no authority to pull them out of their lofty positions and ask them the proper questions that should be asked. And if I had, I mean, who am I to ask that anyway, right? I think I'm really knowledgeable, but I'm no college professor. I think I'm really knowledgeable for the average citizen. I'm obsessed with the founders. Like the revolution. Everybody else is obsessed with the Civil War. The Revolutionary War, I'm just obsessed with. And I consider them men of their day. So yeah, I'll give them a break on racism and bullshit because they were men of their day. But in this day, you can't be that guy. You can't be for shit that was bullshit. And you should go, oh, they didn't know better because they were men of their day. But plucking them out here, like into this realm, I guess, and giving them like, sense of what's going on so they don't totally freak out about the horseless carriages and the flying metal birds. They would tell you, man, we should have fixed that a while ago. And maybe we weren't brave enough to have. But, we left a great group of countrymen here on the American stripe, and they'll fix it. And then they'll come and go, you didn't fix it yet? What the fuck? So, I'm also trying to stop cursing. That's another thing. So, yeah, I intend to be better. I intend to try and be better myself versus just rage against the machine. True, it's nice to see you again. We'll chat with you again soon. Goodness and mercy follows you all the day of your life. Thank you. Thank you for sharing the broadcast. I appreciate you and your openness. Thank you, man. I hope you're still in chat. All right, Edward, I'll talk to you. I'll get at you. So this has been about 15 minutes on 2 topics. We're in for a half an hour. Normally streamers do about 3.5 hours. And I'll be honest with you. The reason why I don't take many questions on this because I had someone on and they just went off on not stuff that I would not endorse, let's say. And then I got a strike on YouTube, right? And then a few weeks later, someone else said something crazy, and I got 2 strikes in a week. So and it's not like you can just get when they ban your YouTube account, you can just start another YouTube account. They ban you, the person, right? They don't let you have 30, which makes sense. But I mean, if I had gotten these lumps, I wish it was me who had done the bad thing. And apparently, it is what it is. If my YouTube gets stricken or whatever, because I said something, yeah, okay, I get it. I'll wear my lumps, but I don't want some person stating wild stuff that I can't. Then, yeah, it was a 2.5 hour podcast. Yeah, I mean, their algorithm is just you're guilty. I mean, and I've seen this before, right? So what it is you don't care about me until I can get like 30 million people to take my side, and then all of a sudden you look bad doing it. But that's it. Your echo chamber is a dead room. No one cares. So I mean, it is what it is. So I'm off Facebook for the same goofy, nonsensical reasons of I really like talking to people and engaging people. And if I have a problem, I want to be able to pick up the phone and go, hey, yo, this happened. And you can't do that in the modern world. So that's why I can't be, I mean, it wouldn't be live. I would have to record 3 hours of it and then go through it and edit and delete who said the wild things about, this virus or that virus or whatever. So it is what it is, isn't it? It is 6:11, and we have been going for 40 minutes. I guess we can crunch this thing out in the next 5 minutes. Have it be an even 45. So the question then becomes, quite frankly, when am I going to stream? Because Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, me dropping this on YouTube can be recorded and dropped. But if I'm going to stream this, um, you know, I need to be able to talk to people. And so far, I'm pretty sure I can talk to people on Twitch and YouTube through the Haps app, but I have yet to get one of those comments in the Haps chat or YouTube chat. So we'll see what happens. And mind you, I'm also new to this, so that's another thing I've been learning. So it'll be fun. But yeah, the 13 minutes will be back Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Hopefully, I won't miss them. And that is in addition to daily practices, just sort of coming here, knocking the practices out for like an hour. I'll likely do one in the morning at 7 a.m. Uh, for about 20 minutes, and then one at night for an hour. Because I get up at 7. Actually, I get up at like 6. Then I putz around to about 7. But by the time I begin doing these, I've been up for like 12, 15 hours. And I was late today by like a half an hour just because I was running around. I had to get some ribs. I went to this place called Mission Barbecue because all of a sudden I got a craving for ribs. And this is after I cooked myself dinner, which was parsley, which was Parmesan flakes on arugula with a kielbasa sausage with a healthy squirt of mustard. It was really good. It was fantastic. And yet, all this week I've been eating essentially hamburgers on a arugula, like the same way, just with cheese. Uh, yeah, it's good stuff. Do more cooking, do more actual engaging. Hopefully, find some people to build something with, and be builders versus just kind of perpetually complain about something. And we will see where that leads us because, man, I have no idea how to do it. But yeah, that's what's going to be done. Because the only thing I really know how to do is shoot my mouth off about politicians who never care about it or seem to be able to fix the things that I'm complaining about. Yeah, plus these are my old shirts too, and I have gotten this shirt used to not be so lined around. You can see like the lines coming at you. This is good for you art people. With the draping of apparels. So yeah, we'll see what we get. Look at this. It's a nice shirt, right? Got a nice piece on it. I love this shirt. Fun till their parents take the tea grid away. So it is now 44 minutes even. We're gonna crunch this out. I actually may be back tonight. Maybe I'll start fiddling around with the guitar then. But yeah, it won't get serious, I don't think, until a couple of days maybe. So if you got an old guitar, dig it out, put new strings on it, come and be as noob with the rest of us noobs. And then who knows, maybe you've been playing forever, you haven't played in 10 years or 20 years, and then you're back in it. And then you can surf for yourself. Like I said, I'm super noob. So I hope some other super noobs come join us if you play the piano or whatever. Because remember, I don't even know how this is going to go down, but remember, it's about learning the music, not so much learning the instrument. Because once you learn the music, like I said, you can then learn the fretting of any instrument, right? The fretboard of any instrument, whether it's a piano, guitar, or maybe a flute, or whatever the case may be, and be able to hammer it out and have some fun with it. So I want to thank all of you here for listening. I hope you like and subscribe where you are, and I hope you take this journey with me. Because again, we're gonna do it every day. Excuse me, every day. Knock on wood. For the next 15 months. Easily. We're trying to like crunch out the first 5 months or so and not miss a day. But it's a hiccup. So like sometimes when you go start running, you run that first day, ooh, that second day you feel like crap. Then the third day you come out and that's the first day running, and you go, whew, you get half, so it may take you 4 days, like 2 weeks to 4 weeks to just get up to running every day. So hopefully, and I got to make up. I used to have when I used to exercise. I had a workbook, but like I guess I'll buy a giant graph note, stuck it on the wall somewhere, and every day you write bing bang. So as you do that, you see all these chit, and you're less likely to want to break that giant interruption of all these X's. Like I used to have a push-up regiment. Um, Man, that was a trillion years ago. I wonder if I can even still do I can definitely still do a push-up. Um, but yeah, we used to do 3 sets of 20. Now I'd be amazed if I can do 3 sets of 10. It has been a year. And shame on me for, and mind you, I'm a year behind in my pick up a talent thing. Most people did it last year. So, you know, come through. Like I said, I'll be here tomorrow. I have to figure out a time. Um, I don't really know when I'm gonna do it. But I should have a time. And I'm gonna set it. I'll figure it out. Because if I do it in the morning, then come back by 6, I'm gonna be sort of tired and groggy. But if I start eating healthy, excuse me, I'm already like, I gotta tell you, I'm getting old. So I'll adjust as needed, but this is gonna get done. Um, this is definitely gonna get done. So let's say Juneteenth, Black folk. I want to say 1 o'clock, the 13th hour. But nobody's going to be home. Nobody's going to be around. People would generally like to do it probably at night between 4 and 7 is when to get good practice. Um, so yeah, probably likely between 4 and 7. So that way, you can have dinner with the fam and then watch some like Netflix or Hulu or whatever you're going to watch. Between 4 and 7, then we'll sort of settle in on a good time to do it regularly. Uh, yeah, wish me luck, and I wish you luck. And none of us, I mean, you may be professional. I'm definitely not, and I'm definitely not anybody's uh, uh, guitar teacher or whatever. But I think if we all got into a room and mucked around and watched me embarrass myself, maybe in a year, no, not a year, maybe December, June, July, August, September, October, November. So let's go 6 months from June 1st. So let's go December 1st, June, July, August, September, October, November. Hold on, June. June is a 6 month, so we'd have to. That would be November, but we're gonna go July 1st to December 1st. With Juneteenth as our start day, and I'm looking to miss no days. So, and with the way we're gonna practice, we're gonna learn this thing. We're gonna get it, and that way, I get to do what I like. I get to help people get to the next level and feel good about it. If you picked up a guitar and was like, "Oh man, I did that stupid show," and all of a sudden I got back to it, and but then a year I was like honking, I'd be like, "Wow, that I've got more good stuff from that than people talking about politics with me. This is real and tangible, and this is where I'm spending my days now. You know, to the Lord called me home, baby, baby. Let's make some guitarists. Uh, yeah, I'm a blues man now, baby. I know 2 notes of a chord and half a note of a note. So yeah, I've got just enough information to be flipping dangerous. Uh, it is 50 minutes in. I will see you tomorrow. Peace and hair grease. I'm out. Oh, I should tell you some stuff that you should probably slowly begin picking up. All right, so you don't really need one, but a book. I have a scratch book here. Uh, also a line book, I guess, for writing line ledgers and stuff. Because I'm gonna write everything on that giant board, then put it in a notebook to what we wrote. And it's gonna be goofy and fun and silly. Have a book around, a paper around, water, pen and pad, some water, your instrument, and whatever your implement needs. Yeah. So I think that's it. Some books, an instrument, a timer, a metronome. You might want to get one of those. And I think those are the base bare minimums to get into the fun goofiness of being a musician. Oh, and today is Paul McCartney's birthday. So it's a good day to have a pod. Happy birthday, Paul McCartney, who wrote several super great songs, not just good, but all great songs, but like super great songs. Man, Here Comes the Sun has to be my favorite Beatles song because I'm connected that one through hippies in the 60s and going to preschool. And that was the first song they taught us. And I didn't know who the Beatles were for like 10 years of all this music. It was always in the atmosphere. And I never knew who they were. But I knew all these songs by them because they were in movies and they were perpetually on old, what classic rock they called it, radio. When Wings was still playing, right, in the 80s, right? So while Wings was on the air, and I was like, oh, that the Beatles, right? So you know that they're a big band and then you sort of want to be a rapper, and I used to write poetry and get up early. So I think if I can get my chops back, I can be a journeyman guitarist. Some of you get by on talent. I may have to get by on just sheer devotion to it, and I'm good with that. So yeah, today's a good day to announce we're going to be playing guitar tomorrow. Happy birthday, Paul McCartney. And I will see the rest of you tomorrow. Peace.